you're getting rid of a Jeep, getting a new one, and you've got scuffs or marks on your bumper, maybe it started to turn white like this, might be a good idea to replace it before you sell it. Cosmetics are probably one of the main things that adds to resale value. Alright, what you're looking at here is my new bumper and my old bumper. As you can see, I've got good dent in that side, good dent in this side. I like, oh, and also over here, I like to use my bumper to push gates open and things like that. If they're already unlocked, I just push them open. And as you can tell, it doesn't look so good, right? So I'm about to get rid of this thing, as I mentioned in my last video where I was replacing my rocker arms. On Craigslist is where I got this new bumper and also a rear bumper about 3 years ago. And I got it because I know what I do to my bumpers, and I knew I was going to sell this thing someday soon. Well, I say soon, it's been a few years. But after these rocker arms, having to replace them, I'm done with this thing. So to remove it, it's fairly easy. Those 4 bolts right here need to be removed on this side and the other side. There's a plug for each fog light. They need to be removed, and you can see looks like a wire ran across there where they had just busted the zip ties. But there's these little plugs that keep this air dam, or I don't know what it is, brush guard, something, in place. Let me go up under here and see if I can show you. There's one there. Well, there's 4 on the front, and then inside, let's see if we can get up in here. Is that seen? There's one right there. One here and one on the other side. And while I'm in here, I'll go ahead and show you the bolts for bumper. To remove it, there's obviously 2 there. I took those off already. And then there's 2, you can see how cramped this space is. I'm not even going to try to show it to you, but maybe you can see. Nope, I won't be able to do it. Fog lights, the plug is in there. You got to wedge my hand up in there, which is why I'm taking this plastic piece off. I think if I get the plastic piece off, I'll be able to get the fog lights out pretty easily. And maybe I can go in from the top. I don't really know yet, but right now it seems pretty simple. 4, and then there's a plate on the back side of it that you have to remove. But anyway, 4 on this side, 4 on that side, bolts, the fog lights, the little retainer pins for that air dam thing, and that's really it. But we're going to go ahead and replace this and see what she looks like with a brand new front bumper on her. This is good as a frame of reference, this view. The guy left the plates, let me see if I can see the plate, and the bolts in place on the left side and the right side. So this is what you're working with if you're removing it for the first time. You got to remove these 2 bolts and then those 2 plates. On the other side, the 2 bolts and the 2 plates. And of course, unplug your fog lights. That's all. Oh yeah, and then the wiring harness. He cut each zip tie. I'm going to go, I was able to pull mine out, except for one. I just yanked them out. So I'll be able to slide those back in, but I need to remove these before I can put it back in, so I can therefore slide my wiring harness back in these holes. So first things first, I use my needle nose like this to remove these retainers. And like I said, there's 4 of them underneath. I already got a couple of them out, so I'm just going to put them back in there just to show in the video. 1, 2, 3, and here's 4. And if you wedge something in between the crack, they come out pretty easily. See that? And it comes out in the let's say like new position where it's not smashed together. We got those 2. Now we just have the 2 on the inside. Now I see I can easily get my hand up in here and unclip. See if we can see it. Check it. There's the fog light. I unclipped that one, and I already did that one, so fog lights come out very easily. Now the hard part is going to be accessing those bolts. But I've got my impact wrench with some swivel connector pieces. And I'm using, I don't think it's the right size, but I'm using an 18 millimeter. It's roughly the right size for those bolts. It's just gonna be a real pain getting to them. So I'll start on the outside here. All right. I got those out. It came out really easily. Now I've got to get the ones that are inside. It's gonna be really difficult, so I'm gonna have to get an extension arm, maybe a few of them. See what I can make happen. All right, we got 4 bolts off this side, 4 bolts off this side, and the 2 plates. These are the metal plates. They'll go right back on like that. So I put them up under there, and we should just be able to pull it off. That's it. We got a bumper off. Now we gotta unscrew the lights, the fog lights, install them in the new system, or new bumper. Here's the fog lights. That's all there is to it. There's Phillips head 1, 2, 3, 4. Phillips head 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop them out, put them in that, and put the bumper back on. Should be pretty easy here. Yep. They're only about 1/2 inch. Pop right out. Oops. Lost a screw in the crack in my driveway. There we go. That one back in there. That one back in there. And there. The hardest part, I'll say, to this installation or removal was you got these this wire harness coming through, and I guess I cut that one initially, but then I was like, you know what, maybe I can pop them out. So 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4 connector points. They're in the way when you're trying to use a ratchet up in there. So I pulled them all out. Once I got this out, it was pretty much easy going after that. This thing, I don't know what it is. It's got some hoses coming down to it, it looks like, or maybe a wiring harness, I don't know. That was in the way a little bit, and then the, I guess this is the sway bar disconnect, that automatic deal. It's on the Rubicons. That's in the way big time. I used a 3/8 ratchet to get in and remove on this side these 2 bolts, because whatever this thing is, it's really in there. It's in the way. Hard to get the impact driver with the extension in there. On this side, that was no problem. So just a heads up, you might have to use a ratchet, and it's real slow goings, but if you're able, definitely try the impact driver first. Here's what the install looks like. There we go. Nice, shiny new bumper. All right, let's recap. I removed my old bumper that was all dinged up, banged up, because I pushed gates open with it and everything, and installed this new bumper. It's super simple. There's 4 nuts on either side and 2 plates on either side. The fog light plugs, there's a wiring harness back there, and there's this air dam, and that's it. Really easy to do. I'm doing it because I'm getting rid of this thing. I've had 2 rocker arms go bad within the last 6 months, and I'm not replacing another one. I did them both myself, and it took me hours and hours to make it happen. I don't suggest having a car that has this Pentastar V6 3.6 liter engine. It's just been a nightmare. So I'm getting rid of it with this shiny new bumper.